This is The Real Shift with Templeton Walker
and Kristen Cantrell,
where we break down all things real broker, why we both decided to move our businesses to real brokerage. We interview top agents from across the nation, like you're going to hear today. You guys, welcome back to The Real Shift podcast with Templeton and
Kristen.
And we're going to call this one the business episode.
Yeah, I love this.
We were just having a great chat about your business, my business, what we've been working on, iterating on. And then we were both like, I think that's the podcast.
Well, I mean, honestly, it is, because I was just thinking this is the kind of conversations when you're in a brokerage like Real, because you're partners with so many different people doing things so far beyond just real estate deals.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're able to be around, like I have this conversation with you, I could pick up the phone and call Dustin, Randy, Clayton, all of our partners and just be like, hey, I'm struggling in this area in my business. Like, let me bounce some ideas off of you.
Yeah. I was in a meeting this morning where this guy, he runs like a kind of good old boys construction business. And he was like, the three of us were just having like an open conversation around how we feel and business. And he's like, I've never really done this. And
had like a how he feels conversation
around with with a business ethos, right?
Yeah.
Of like how it feels to be the owner and like all the weight is on you. And,
Yeah.
you know, did anyone teach you what to do with your profits or your revenue or your growth strategy? He's like, I don't, you know, and he's grown a really successful thing, but kind of like, just like in this like backwoods sort of way.
Well, and probably just flying by the seat of his pants, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like a lot of us feel like that. And then when you're able to have conversations like we just had, where it's like, you get it and you can think in a way that I feel like a lot of, you know, if I'm just at a traditional brokerage and I'm worried about where's my next listing coming from and nothing else, the conversation's just different.
It is. Well, I don't think everyone has a full perspective of how well versed and how much you do. Mm-hmm. What are the businesses that you run right now?
So I have a business called Moms in Real Estate, and it's a 41,000 women in real estate Facebook group. And so that is a business. I actually had somebody in the group be like, oh, I can't believe, is this like a business now? I'm like, yes, it's a business. We have like full on staff for it. And it's a full production. So that's one of my businesses. There's also a podcast with that. I have a business called The Hello Culture, where I coach top female real estate agents on building communities for network expansion. And so it's basically like a business in a box where they take my brand, my blueprint, and my coaching, and they build out a membership-based model. And then I also run a local Hello Culture chapter here in Gilbert, Arizona, where I have female entrepreneurs that are members of my community. And then I have my Real Broker business, where I have agent partners all over the United States.
You're at almost 400.
Yeah.
That's insane. You've done that in just about a year.
Yeah, a little over. Well, probably a year and a half now.
So anyone that's listening to this, all right, that's 4 different verticals. And one thing that I really want to share is like real brokerage is kind of the catch-all, at least for me, at like the bottom of the funnel or the top of the funnel, however you want to look at it, of like, hey, you can fit into this world however you'd like and keep the autonomy of your brand and your business. But I love how agents and business owners can plug in with you and really like understand how to launch a brand, how to create community.
Yeah.
And that's a big reason why your Real Brokerage has grown so much, because you're not just out there attracting to just Real Broker.
Yeah.
You're attracting to your companies.
Yeah.
Would you agree that people need to start thinking through like, what is the thing they can attract to, whether it's their team?
100%.
Like, because I think people think that they're just going to say, hey, join me at Real.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're going to grow a 400-person network in a year. I don't think it works like that.
It's not like that. It's very much like you want to be connected to people who are doing similar things to what you're wanting to do. Like, not everyone wants to build a community, but they might be like, I like the way that her brain thinks. And being able to, like, again, it's just like being around it and being able to have those conversations. Like, even me and you sat down, I don't know, probably like 6 months ago when we were at Garage East, and like we literally took, you know, a pen to paper and mapped out all of my businesses and like where you saw my top of funnel and that kind of stuff. So that was like really helpful too.
I think, so for you right now, I think one of the things that you're working on most from our conversation is like, you have all these value propositions. Like, how do you market and funnel to the correct brand and right offer?
Yeah.
And I'm kind of dealing with that on my side, right? Because like I've pivoted to all luxury development and like kind of luxury real estate.
Yep.
So I'm working through because I have a tendency to want to serve the entire marketplace.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to help everyone.
Yeah.
And I think where people struggle is when you try to be something to everyone, then you're nothing to no one, whatever the saying is. What would be your top of funnel? Like, would it be Hello Culture?
Yeah, I would say Hello Culture.
So that's kind of your main bread and butter business.
Yeah, it's kind of shifting though. And this is kind of fun for me because I feel like depending on what season I'm in, it kind of ebbs and flows between, like, sometimes it's Moms in Real Estate, sometimes it's Hello Culture. So, and I think it's probably just like where I'm putting most of my energy.
I think, yeah. And for me, I even said it right before the podcast, and I think people love following us because we're transparent and honest. It's like, I was like, hey, I haven't thought about Real a lot lately because I've been so ingrained in my primary businesses.
Well, yeah. And if you guys don't know, he's completely decided, you know, in the last couple months that he's fully into development and luxury real estate. And he hasn't done that, right? So you've been investor, and then what am I doing next? And now you're doing this.
Yeah, the analogy I've been using is like for all these years, I felt like I was an elk hunter. And on every elk hunt, I'd forget to hunt elk and I'd shoot every bunny, you know, these little smaller deals.
Yeah.
And that fed me really well for many years. But I finally was like, what do I really want to work on?
Yeah.
What are the sort of deals I want people to know that, like, the most beautiful luxury custom development homes in Arizona, like, oh, Temp did that.
They need to, yeah. Or when they think of that, they think like, I've got to call Temp.
Yes. And I think that's why, you know, doing podcasts like this and the brands that we build, which you're even better at than me, is like I'm hoping in a year from now, people forget smaller investor Temp, you know, smaller deal flow, and they only see me through a luxury lens.
Yeah.
Because that's the brand I'm trying to build.
Yeah.
So, but it's been a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, yeah.
And you can kind of dilute that if I'm always talking about Real Broker as well, right? So it's kind of like you can only have so many arrows that you can shoot through your marketing funnel before you confuse people.
Yeah.
So I've had to kind of choose wisely lately of like, what do I post? What do I reshare? Have you thought through that? Have you ever felt like, gosh, I have too many?
Yeah, all the time. Like, this is definitely like, you know what, I will tell you in December, this is why I launched my personal brand, Hey Kristen Cantrell, because I was like, oh my gosh, there's nothing worse for me than when I like meet somebody and they're like, so what do you do? And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, how do you not know what I do? And then I'm like, take a step back. Like, it is confusing. And so I sat with ChatGPT. I use that thing, and I'm like, I read something the other day about how many multi-millionaires that ChatGPT is going to make. I'm like, seriously, when you really dive into your business with chat, it is like, it's so much fun. So I went, and it knows all of my different businesses. And I was like, I feel like people are confused. And it really helped me with how am I showing up on Hey Kristen Cantrell for my personal brand to feed all of the other businesses and to be clear. So I would suggest if anyone else is struggling with that, like really go in deep with ChatGPT, who already knows your businesses, and get really clear on how is it that you're showing up and marketing each one.
Yes.
And that's why your personal brand's so important too, because like at the end of the day, like it's Temp who is attached to luxury and is attached to new construction, but then it's also going to be like, you've got to have your name attached to Real. So if people are like, I want to do that and this, and then like he's over there, I need to ask about it, you know? And
I also think, well, I love that. And I think the prompt that people need to understand with chat is just say, you know me well enough, you know my companies, if you've been talking to chat.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like my brand is confusing right now. If I was going to consolidate it and have a clear message and a clear offer, can you help me think through that? Like, that's the prompt.
Yeah.
And then just allow it and like have a conversation with it.
Yeah.
I think what chat is, it's the technical co-founder that we all crave of like the person that can have like pretty analytical, just like logical thought sparring with you. And if you know how to ask the question and you're open to it, you can land on some like really like tangible, like actionable stuff. So much
tangible things, yeah.
So I mean,
even
that.
Like our conversation right here, like before we got on here, and we're just talking about like just being able to have a conversation, and you get it. I get your business, you get my business. Chat gets it in that way that you're like, I just feel like I just had coffee with someone who was like, who's been around forever. Who like, you know,
has like a lot of great perspective.
That feels amazing. Like I the other day I literally got up and I'm like, I can't believe like what I just accomplished sitting here with this thing.
And I think, you know, not to go down an AI rabbit hole here, but I do just think it's going to be an additive to the human experience, and it's not going to replace anybody. 'Cause you got to figure out how, like, I think the essence of us is still what's important. But like I had to structure a legal document earlier for limited partners into this deal I'm doing. And so I prompted it on everything I needed. And then I was able to send that document to my attorney and spend $350 instead of $3,500 for him to fully build it. I was like, hey, I'm pretty sure I built it.
Yeah.
Can you make sure? And he's like, dude, this is really good. I'd add this thing. You have a protection here you need.
Yeah.
And I got an invoice for $350 instead of, $5,000 or whatever it's going to be.
So I'll tell you how I used it recently. I know this is totally going into the AI,
No,
but you're interested. So I said, hey, help me build my personal brand logo. I just spent $4,500 rebranding another company. And I was like, I'm going to freaking do this myself. So I literally asked chat. I was like, based on all my brands and like, my profile and my whatever, I'm like, tell me what brand fonts, what brand colors you think I should use. And it literally directed me on how to go and build my own logo inside of Canva. It even said like, move the H closer to the K. And like it just, every time I'd go back and forth. And I literally built a full on brand going back and forth with ChatGPT that I think turned out really good.
I love it. Are you talking about the Hey Kristen Can't Tell one? I thought it looked really good.
I did that all with chat. Like it didn't create it for me, but it literally like was my like person next to me telling me what to change. And I feel like that was a really cool experience.
Templeton Real Estate, which is my luxury brand now. I'm not running a team anymore. I have 2 licensed assistants. So I was like, what is this? The story I really wanted to tell people is like, hey, you're getting Templeton again. Like you're not just getting handed off to an agent. Like you're getting a bespoke, curated experience with me.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, just my name, Templeton Real Estate, like simple enough. And so it helped me think through that. It kind of helped me land on that answer. And then I started to work on the logo, which I've gotten a ton of compliments on. It's just super clean, pretty sleek. And instead of, spending a bunch of money on it, I maybe 50 iterations. So it took some work.
Yeah.
But I landed on something I really like and that has been well received.
And it's fun when you're so like, I feel like we're both really into our brands. And so I feel like it was a fun experience for me creating that. And I'm sure it was for you too.
It's been super fun. I've been having a blast lately, just to kind of switch gears here. I actually did a post this morning that's done pretty well where I was like wearing my outfit out front. And I said, dressing cool has made me more money. And so for like 77 days now, one of my big commitments was like to get myself together, put a good watch on, wear pants like a grown up, like go to the office and be like proud of how I look.
Yeah.
Because in doing that, I know once I'm there, I'm going to get stuff done. I'm going to like,
totally.
And it's just been like a small shift of like, hey, in the past, I almost had this badge of honor to like be in board shorts and be like pretty successful. And like, well, the reality is like, as much as my track record is strong, people don't know that if they're not just meeting me.
Yeah.
And I've just, along with brand, like part of the brand that I'm creating is like, I do like fashion and style and vintage Porsches and Rolexes and this stuff.
It's totally you. I was like the vintage Porsche with your brand and the Rolex, it all goes.
Right. And it's because what I actually like, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, cool. So I'm like curating that. And I think what the best brands are your authentic self.
Yep.
Into the world.
Yes.
And anyway, it's just been fun. And I think that's something that you do really well with your company. So anyone listening that's like, hey, I'm struggling with brand.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you guys do with Hello Culture, correct?
Yeah, it's definitely like show there, because I always say like I love the women that can wear like stilettos and like tight dresses. My husband would love if I could do that more. I never do, but I literally am like, if I showed up in that, you wouldn't even have a conversation with me because I'd be looking straight through you, thinking about how uncomfortable I am.
Right.
And so I'm just like, if people can just show up and not like feel like, oh, I have to dress a certain way in order to impress people. Like, you do need to look nice. Like, wash your hair, wear good, clean clothes, like, have a good style. But don't feel like you have to look like Templeton or like, whoever else. It's just like, try to be yourself. But it is a constant, like, I actually feel like, and I feel like a lot of women my age, like, I'm almost 40. And so all of a sudden everyone's like, where do I shop? How do I dress?
Yeah.
And I actually hired a company, they're Shine Image Consulting this last year, and they go in and like help you with your specific style, but like elevating it and just looking better. And I was like, that was the best money spent like last year that I did.
No, and you have dope style, right? And it's like uniquely yours.
Yep.
And I think that's a good point is like a big thing for me was looking good and being presentable just kind of helps your internal like willingness to be like, all right, I'm here to like play full out and if I had a seller appointment, call me right now. Could I go show up? And I don't know. I just think it's been a blast.
I think so too. All right. So why don't we talk about like one thing that you're really like loving in your business right now, if we're having the business conversation?
So I picked a word for 2026, which was simple.
Yes.
And, anyone that's followed me for a long time knows that I've done many things.
I laughed when you told me that because I was like, I feel like it's everything you're doing is not simple. It's
Well,
hard.
I mean, I only have 2 offers now. Like I will help you buy, sell, or transact luxury real estate, or I will build custom.
That is
development
simple.
homes.
You're right. I feel like it's
I
like
only have
pedal.
2. Yeah. I mean, I am moving fast
Yes.
and like going hard in the paint on the 2 things.
Yes.
But I'm doing nothing else.
Yeah.
Like I still own my joint venture title company, which is, that's super low noise, high margin. Like it just exists. You do deals and I'm able to earn, real broker, getting people in, helping them see the opportunity. That's grown. And I think I'm almost at 700. Big thanks to you.
Amazing.
So like that's such a blessing. But the only thing I'm serving right now is my brain power is going towards luxury real estate.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to be the realtor that was selling $700,000-$800,000 homes, and now I have an $8 million development deal I'm trying to sell, and I don't know, I'm not in that world.
Yeah.
The biggest struggle for me though, Kristen, has been I used to do a deal every day. Like I'd do a couple hundred deals a year.
Yeah.
Where now in this world, I really only need to do one great deal a week or every other week.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to go do.
Yeah.
So like me having to slow down and not get that dopamine hit of like.
We'll go back to the elk versus,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
like,
not killing every bunny and I'm like, I have my blinders on and I'm like staying focused.
Yep.
That's been a hard pivot for me.
Yeah. Well, if you're listening and I can feel that so much because I think we're both so like all over the place where I completely feel that where it's like your focus can go everywhere. And my word is momentum. And I literally had to write out everything on a board where it's like I am only doing these things and I'm only amplifying them and I'm not taking on anything new because I get talked into starting something new all the time. Like I've had people be like, Kristen, when's your next retreat? I'm like, not doing one. And then I'm like, should I do one? No, I'm not. I'm like, I'm sticking to the plan.
No is a superpower.
Yeah. And it's really hard if you're a people pleaser, which I 100% am trying not to be, but I am.
And I've grown into who I am today, but it took a lot of, mistakes. And the dirty no, the dirty yes was my biggest nemesis where, I have created a great brand and influence. So someone would come to me with a really great idea, like they were excited about it. And I'd be like, yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
I kind of gave a dirty yes.
Yeah.
And they took that as gospel and they're like, cool, I'm doing this with Temp now. And to my credit, I would usually get to a spot where I was like, what are we doing? I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
But I would go through this whole carrying this kind of like half-cooked thing until I finally was like, this is dumb.
Yeah.
Where had I just given them a clean no on the front end and been like, hey, it's not great timing for me. Yeah. So one of the lines that I've really learned to use is like, hey, I have a few things that are mission critical. I just do not have the capacity for this. I love you. I love the idea, but I just can't participate right now.
Yeah.
And being comfortable saying that.
Yeah.
Where in the past.
Which, would that make you uncomfortable in the past?
Well, I'd also have FOMO. I'd be like, yeah, I want to be.
I know.
I want to
the FOMO is so real.
And I make plenty when I do the one or two things.
Yes.
At my highest level. And the 10 grand I was making in a plumbing company, but whatever distraction and brain power that needed, I probably could have made 100 grand had I just focused on my main vocation.
Yep. I'm learning that for sure.
So, I mean, I do think there's nothing in this world that's completely passive, but just trying to say no to the things that have high noise and low margin, focus on the main thing.
Yeah.
And just know that like those things make me, like if you have clarity on the life you want.
Yeah.
Like I need to only sell a few really great pieces of real estate every month, have a handful of development projects pop, and I make like all the money that me and Denise need. Like, and much, much more. Yeah. So why am I saying yes to stuff out of this scarcity? I got to be involved. I need some of that money. Yeah. Where it's just like, hey, no thanks, I'm good.
Yeah. I feel like I wish I listened to this podcast a long time ago.
I know. I feel like I wish someone could have given me this pod.
I know. Where was the real shift back in the day?
Okay, well, you asked me a great question there, and then I want to throw it back to you. What is the one thing right now that's either going really well in your businesses or that you're struggling with?
Yeah. So I'll start with what I'm struggling with. I was telling him earlier, I literally am feeling myself get sucked back into burnout. And it's literally to where at the end of the day, like my brain is vibrating. I'm waking up in the middle of the night thinking about all the things that I have to do. And so it's just, I'm just pivoting and, going back into like what's working, what's not working. So I feel like I have it under control now, but it is definitely like 2026 has been a hard start for me, and we're like only 3 weeks in. But I do see a light at the end of the tunnel with that. What's really working for me is I invested in a mastermind, not a mastermind, a coaching program, and it is so good. Like I am the like littlest person in the room, which I'm really, really happy with. Everyone has way, way, way bigger goals than me and has way more successful businesses than me. So I'm just really happy to be in there. And I'm just like a sponge right now listening to all of the stuff because everything, like they all run different businesses, but like right now I'm listening to somebody who does $500,000 launches 4 times a year and I'm getting her launch strategy. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm getting your launch strategy. So I'm really hyped up on implementing everything that I'm learning in there. So that's what's working.
That's awesome. So so the not working is feeling a bit burnt out, but listening to your body, listening to your mind to be like, this isn't sustainable.
Yes.
Do you have like a filter or like a mental filter of like what to cut? I think people would, I don't know that I do or don't, so this could be a loaded question, but like, how do you know? Like, is it a gut feeling or is there something?
Mine's a full body feeling. My nervous system, like I know what this feels like. I literally fixed my nervous system last year. That's why I'm so mad at myself. I spent so much time and I'm like, I can feel it in my whole body. So now like you were talking about, you're doing meditation twice a day, I think.
Yeah.
I do this thing called brain tapping. I have this like these headphones I put in. It's a meditation. It has these like strobe lights. I don't know what they do. They rewire your brain. And I just like lay there and put on this guy's voice that's really soothing. And I literally crash out. Like it stops my brain. And so if I do that consistently, it helps my nervous system. I hum, which sounds weird, but it like helps with your vagus nerve. So I have like little things in place that I am like, okay, I got to get back to that. I haven't done yoga in 3 weeks. I'm like, all right, like I guess that stupid thing works when I go to yoga,
I think it's one of those things too, where it's like the habits are only as good as your willingness to do them consistently.
Yep.
And we know that it's important. But for me, I dealt with stress and anxiety in 23 for the first time ever. Like it just hit me like a ton of bricks. And I didn't even know that was a real thing. I was like, yeah, maybe for like weak people. And I was like, that doesn't happen to me.
Yeah.
And then, so I started implementing what I call think walks, like going for a walk without a book on or because I'm always like trying to get better. I got to listen to something.
I know.
And just like slowing down. And then I watched some random interview with Jerry Seinfeld talking about TM meditation, which is transcendental meditation. And he was just like, you're not like, if your brain is on full sizzle, which I'm like, oh, that's me.
That's me.
And it's never getting a moment. You have 24 hours. You can't find 20 to 40 minutes a day to give it a break.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, crap. So that kind of hit. And so it was like a random source of Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, that's
on
random.
Like a Graham Bessinger 8-minute clip on YouTube. And it kind of just hit for me.
Yeah.
And it's been a game changer because I was getting to the end of the day and legitimately I was fried. I was like,
so fried.
Not in a bad way. It wasn't stress and anxiety anymore, but it was like, I was like dumb. Like my brain was like tapped. I was like, I don't.
Like you're trying to find a word and you're like, it's
I like
not
didn't
coming.
know how to, I didn't know how to make like good decisions anymore by the end. Cause like I was just done.
Well, and it's for me, I'm like, how am I showing up for my family if like I'm literally toast at the end of the day and I can't even like, I don't have the capacity to have more good conversations for the people that matter the most to me. So that's the reason. That's when I'm like really like, oh, I need to like reset here.
And then having the perspective on like what actually matters. So like it should be inverse. Like I'm going to show up as my best self for my spouse and my kids.
Yep.
And business will serve that.
Yeah.
And then I think one of the best ways to do that is like what me and Denise have done is we plan all of our family vacations and stuff.
Yeah.
And now I got to go fit business around that.
Yeah.
So we have like Hawaii coming up, which will be a great reset.
Yeah.
Where in the past, I just wasn't doing that. Like the family was reactionary to the work.
Yeah.
And not the inverse.
Yeah. We literally have a date night tonight to plan out all of our vacations for the year.
I have 1.7 million points that we're trying to use.
Oh, that's
so we've been like taking calls with points people. Because I normally don't know, like, I'm not sure, like, let's just use them.
I know.
And there's like a way better way. So I'm excited for that.
Oh, that's
This is a good
good.
pod. We got to do these business ones more.
I know. Hopefully they're hitting for some people.
I got to tell you, the feedback on this podcast has been big.
I know. Literally, Sarah's out there and she's like, oh, my favorite podcast. I'm like, really? I love that.
That's awesome.
So great.
Well, you guys, thanks for listening and being here
Yes.
again. If you like this business episode, drop a comment, let us know, and we will see you on the next one.
Bye.